join me in welcoming and congratulating Mia on the Lifetime Achievement Award. Mia, congratulations. I turn the mic over to you.
Hello. How are you doing in this virtual world? I started this whole thing when I was, before the internet, y'all. Before the internet. Okay, so here we go. Yeah. So I'm just very honored. Thank you, NASW, social workers, my esteemed colleagues that so graciously nominated me. I was so surprised. I thought it was spam. So I had to ask, is this spam? But it wasn't. So I'm really grateful and honored to be a part of this room. Wow. Can you imagine all of this wonderful, heartful energy that's here? Social work is needed so very much, especially now. Our world is so in need of us, our love, acceptance, humility, humanity, helpfulness, hopefulness, and even better served up with a dose of humor. So without further ado, I made a ode to a social worker. So if you are a person who helps, thank you. Your help is likely not always acknowledged. We acknowledge you now. If you are a person who has been there and comes from a place of knowing what hurting means, financially, hunger, loss, addiction, mental health, being an other, and nonetheless sits with others who are now hurting, thank you. Your humanity is needed and appreciated. If you are a person who teaches and helps others learn, thank you for teaching someone how to fish. It will only be passed on exponentially, even if the effect isn't noticed for many years. If you are a person who parents, I heard some out there, your own biological children, your adopted ones, being an other mother and other father, thank you. Your guidance and mentoring matters. If you're a person or supporter that specializes in a particular field and has a special sauce, thank you. Your accumulated experience and body of knowledge matters. If you are a person who fights isms, starting with yourself, and kindly yet firmly requests another to reconsider, thank you. You are courageous and important. If you are a person who notices and listens to another human and understands the behavior and context, person and environment, right? Us social workers really look hard to understand, why someone does what they do. If you're that person, thank you for your ears and hearts of compassion. If you're a boss who has had to make hard decisions that may not feel very social worker-y, thank you. You're the boss. Your leadership matters. If you serve populations that are underserved, thank you for serving. Your service is noticed, appreciated, and your experience adds much greatness to our hurting world. You help people feel seen and heard. If you're a person that encourages, supervisors, mentors, and guides a patient, client, supervisee, child, adult in a world that is hurting, thank you. Your recipients will go on to pass on this knowledge and kindness. If you are a person that researches and contributes to new information being known, even if it doesn't right away, thank you. Every effort is important to a new breakthrough. Isn't it great what we know now that we didn't know 20 some years ago? I'm in my 27th year, 28th, yeah. So yeah, starting before the internet, it's isn't it amazing where we've come from? I'm really proud of this profession, right? And if you're here supporting another social worker or the field of social work, thank you. You're supporting me, social workers here in Arizona and around the world, and every person impacted by the field of social work. That's pretty neat. And now for the humor. Okay, so look at your shoes. Is there such thing as social work shoes? So I had this colleague outside the field of social work that said, Mia, there's like, you have social work shoes. I was like, what the heck is social work shoes? And she's like, next time you're in company of social workers, look. So next time I was at one of these NASWAZCE events, like today, but of course in person, I looked and I was like, oh, I think the answer is yes. There is such a thing. But I think it's because we tend to walk a mile in others' shoes, right? And so we might as well be comfortable doing that. So, you know, wear your social work shoes with pride. So, and then how many social workers and allies does it take to advocate for an unjust system, the underserved, the underdog, the next George Floyd, the 1 in 10, the other? And the answer is, in all seriousness, all of us. So thank you to all the helpers. The world needs you, especially now. So I'm always here to encourage and support you all, and I am so humbled to accept this award. Wow. It is not spam, and I thank you, and I thank my work wife, Jessica. I'm looking at you right now. I was looking at you the whole time. So, thank you, Varsha, someone who she just called me up and I said, yeah, I'll supervise you. How fun would that be? How neat. And she wrote all those beautiful words. My husband, who's on here and always so proud and is our wordsmith here when we don't always have the words. And Dr. Gelper, my friend Lisa, who has gone through all of this with me right as I became a social worker. She's a psychologist. I very much look up to her and all our interdisciplinary colleagues out there. And Lori, who is a special social worker that sort of was at the beginning of Healthy Futures with me. And now we have 4 social workers with us here, and I just really enjoy it. So thank you for listening, and thank you for this amazing group of people. And happy Social Work Month as we finish this off. So, thanks.
Great. Congratulations. Thank you, Mia. If we could just give another round of applause for all of our awardees. Congratulations.